Bethesda set the tone of what was possible in 2017 when they announced and released Doom for the Nintendo Switch. At the time, it was surprising but comforting to see a game of its kind returning to a Nintendo platform. But more than a year after its original release, is it worth the play on Nintendo's hybrid console? One thing Doom is known for is its arcadic, shoot everything that's bad nature, and the same can be said here. If something Doom has always got right, it is the gameplay. From the way you move throughout the world to taking down every single monster that stands in the way, Doom makes you feel like the ultimate rebel with a cause. Of course, because Doom enjoys throwing many enemies in your way, you have to keep moving and shooting, or you'll simply, well... When your health is low, you'll hear a discomforting beep, letting you know it's time to find health or take down some foes. Depending on your difficulty, the demons are mostly manageable to take down. After weakening them enough, the creatures will glow, giving you the opportunity to finish them off. Not only do you get a cool takedown shot for doing so, you get a small health boost and extra item drops as a result. It also gives the player a moment to recompose. It's only about 2 seconds, but it surprisingly really helps you out. As for the demons, well... there's a lot, and a lot of returning ones from classic Doom games. Depending on your loadout, you'll have to think on your feet and use your weapons to their advantage. Some demons go down easier than others, and some are just freaky. Gameplay and design is nothing without a soundtrack to boot, and Doom does not let you down here. The soundtrack can be mostly minimalistic, for the most part, when traversing the land and exploring the world, but when it comes to Doom's more hectic moments and boss encounters, be prepared for an increase in the soundtrack department. Nothing quite beats taking down demons to some heavy metal inspired soundtrack. The pace of Doom's single player mode feels solid. You'll be travelling from artificial laboratories, going to derelict planets, and exploring some dark, sinister places. Doom doesn't get too old too quickly either, throwing new demons, weaponry, locations and upgrades to keep the adventure interesting and from growing stale. Whether you're exploring the environment to solve a basic puzzle, finding secret areas, or uncovering a new threat, it keeps being fun without feeling too repetitive. One small criticism, however, is the final area of the single player mode. Doom never makes you feel too overpowered or too underpowered in most situations until the near end. You've learned everything there is to know about each demon, and you have a fair idea of your weapon's strong and weak points. Now it's time for a fight in a large area with compact smaller areas, where you need to take down a bunch of tricky demons while also trying to shut down a computer, but each time you do, more demons come your way. The demons only stop coming when the computer is completely turned off. But if you go in too rash, you'll meet an early death, but go in too cautious, you'll run out of ammo and get overtaken by foes from every angle. You could say the difficulty spikes somewhat, but it's certainly one of the more challenging parts of the game.
61,337 UAC members deceased.
Over in the online section, which with Switch requires you to download a 10GB file in order to play, sees a selection of modes including solo, team and practice play. These include Team Deathmatch, where your team has to take down the other team, Last One Standing, think Battle Royale on a smaller scale, throwing a ball into the opposing team's goal, as well as Zone Play, in which you take control of an area and try to stop the other team from taking it. For those familiar with the genre, it's all quite familiar territory, while for newcomers it offers a fun alternative, with the mood and approach of Doom's nature. Nintendo Switch-wise, visually, Doom aims for a resolution of 720p. As soon as you start the game, you may see that Doom doesn't hit it. Although this might sound like a bad thing, it's actually not as bad as you might think. Dependent on the area you're in, the game changes the resolution to best fit the environment and the way in which you play. Expect variations from 720p to 500p. For some, this can be distracting when you play, but once you've played an hour or so, the visuals become second nature. The advantage here is playing handheld, which makes everything look a lot better due to the Switch's smaller screen. As for performance, well, it remains mostly stable. Difficulty dependent, you can experience more performance drops when more demons or explosions are in the picture. As this is a first person shooter, you generally need a good and stable frame rate. The Switch version of Doom might not be the 60 frames per second seen on other versions of the game, but its 30 frames per second works and is solid for most of the time. First person shooter fan or not, Doom is fast, energetic, hectic fun, and well worth the fight. Nintendo is doomed once more.